Hello. Hi. I'm late. Um, don't worry about it. Hello. Hi. Okay, that looks good. Announcements. Case attorney. Trials and tribulations. Posts. Okay. There. There. On Chase Attorney. Oh, I'm excited. I'm a little bit late. I started dinner late because, fucking lines at the polling station were a lot longer than I thought they were gonna be. There it goes. Okay, there we go. Set that for now. I will be right back. Gotta check. We gotta refill my water. Ah, Ace Attorney! It's time for a new game! Not this game. Not this game either. This game! Oh, I'm so excited. Turnabout Memories. It's time for Ace Attorney. Let's play. Ah, how did he get into this mess? Why? Why did I do that? Nick? Nick, did you kill someone? That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. Something you need to know about that girl. Stop it, don't talk about her like that. Oh god. Look at that sweater, Nick. It wasn't me. I didn't... I didn't do it! Nick, you killed someone! God damn it! At least it's not Maya. 5 years earlier, Mia Fey, second trial. Ah, are we playing as Mia? April 11th, 9:40 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Yeah, we are! We're Mia! Phew. It's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Ahem. Oh, it's Grossberg! Oh, Mr. Grossberg. Good morning. Ah, Mia. Please calm yourself down. You're gonna get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know? What are you talking about? I'm relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed. Let's let go of my lapels. You obviously haven't gotten the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I'm Marvin Grossberg. I'm at your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me. What with your earnest request last night? Let me handle this case, you suddenly said, and quite forcefully, too. I just found out yesterday, about the case, I mean. What? You've already learned all the relevant facts? Well, about that, you see, I mean, of course I have, I think. What do we got? Attorney's badge. First and last time I wore it was a year ago. What the fuck? Doug's autopsy report. Date and time of death. 4/9, 3 p.m. Cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Marvin Grossberg, age 61. Spirit, and head of Grossberg Law Offices. Phoenix Wright, age 21. So this is, I think Nick was 25 in the last game, so it was, yeah, 4 years ago. My client, a third-year art student at Ivy University. Art student? I thought he went into law. The fuck, Nick? Currently has a cold. Doug Swallow, a victim. He was a fourth-year pharmacology student at Ivy University. Dahlia Hawthorne, Phoenix Wright's girlfriend, dated with the victim, Doug Swallow, up until 8 months ago. Obviously, it doesn't last. Unless we just don't see much of Nick's personal life. Should be interesting, too. Well, about that, you see, I mean, of course I have, I think. Oh dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client. Good morning, there, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just wanted to say, I'll give it all I've got. Yep, I'll be fine, no problem. Oh, what's wrong? You have a cold or something, Mr. Rye? Actually, it's right. Like the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. My duck says this way, I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Ah. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please, let go of my shirt. That's right, he's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. First time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. What the fuck? It's been 1 year since then, and, well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client and for myself. I don't think there's any trials that matter 4 years back. Unless I'm remembering it wrong. Statute of limitations was 15 years ago. Not DL6. I don't know. April 11th, 10 a.m. District Court Defendant District Court, courtroom number 2. Oh my god, is that Winston? Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ah, Mia! We get to see you on the stand. Or in the booth. Desk? The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. That's Winston. He's got a fucking pompadour. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing right there next to you? Yes, well... You're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think. God. Pinnacle of confidence right there, Mia. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl, it'll all be over soon. What's that all about? He's trying to trash talk me? Now then, I'd like to proceed with the summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology. Sounds like he was a very bright young man. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Oh, good lord. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body. He very clearly was like a power line fell down and shocked him. What? And the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. Then they called the police.
That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. Court accepts his photo into the record as evidence.
Crime photo 1 added to the court record. By the way, hold on. They just had a live sparking wire dangling above the corpse? And they just took a picture like that? What the fuck?
Can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo.
Your reputation for sagacy. Define sagacity.
Sagacity means the quality of being sagacious.
Fucking thanks, Siri. Define sagacious.
Sagacious means having or showing keen mental discernment and good judgment, wise or shrewd.
Okay. The truth is, the victim, this victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death?
What do you mean, Mr. Payne?
Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Huh? Simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I am a genteel man, if you will. A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of.
Ah, perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause of death. Go on.
Fatal electric shock.
Please say you know at least this much.
I'm so sorry, I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file.
My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now see here. The details of the case are filed under the court record. You knew that already, didn't you?
Ah, the court record. Yes.
All the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good look. Take a good hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear.
Yes, sir. I'll do just that.
Court record. Now then, the attorney for the defense, please answer the question. What was the cause of death?
Execution. According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution.
Electrocution? How could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new, super powerful stun gun, perhaps?
The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue. Oh, what's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant.
Bad blood?
What do you mean? Oopsies, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude.
That's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift.
Winston? They don't call me the rookie killer for nothing, you know? Rookie? What?
Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence.
Evidence?
No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Found the evidence you need and shove it in old Greybeard's face there.
Yes, sir. Into old Greybeard's face.
Mr. Grossberg. Try to set a better example for the young lady.
Mia, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are there as well. You can toggle between profiles and evidence with the tabs. Should go over it all.
Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim?
Mia's take that. Oh. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here.
Leah Hawthorne, is it?
Very good, Miss Faye. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story.
He's done it again. Well, the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Well, Mr. Payne, please call your first witness.
If it pleases the court, please, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Faye.
It's fine, after all. Mr. Wright is innocent, right? Defense has no objections.
Very well. Court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand.
Witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh, yes, my name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect.
No, he means what did you do before you were arrested?
Oh, I was a university student. Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student, Doug Swat. But I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you, I was
Oh my god. Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his cold to the rest of us?
It seems the witness has something he wants to say.
Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. The victim and I. What do you got for us, right? I admit I was there. But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. Never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. I see. So you hardly knew the victim. Right, like I said, I'm not a killer. Phew. Looks like the judge understands. Ugh. Being naive, you know? Too naive. Huh? Seems like you've forgotten one small thing, young lady. And that would be? This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination. Cross-examination? He's right, and it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. Purpose is to determine if the witness's testimony contains any contradictions. Contradictions? Witness is lying. His statement will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client. Even if he is your client, in the court all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? Is he saying that the testimony just now? That there was a lie, a contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fay. Tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you?
Ah, Mia. That is so naive. You say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. Place where something happened anyway. Something? You can't hide what happened, we have photographic evidence.
Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow.
It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident.
Coincidence, huh?
You say you found the body?
So it was you who called the police?
Huh? Unfortunately, it was some other students that notified the police.
Other students?
That's correct. They were witnesses. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body in shock.
What? Is this true, Mr. Wright? Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind?
Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body. But
So you didn't know his face or even his name, right?
Right, well, no. That is, I mean...
So, which is it? Did you know him or not? Now see here, you can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day.
Well... I guess I did know his name.
News to me. Why didn't you tell me about that before?
I heard he used to date Dolly.
Who's this Dolly person?
Yes, that would be the defendant's lover. Miss Leah Hawthorne.
Oh, I see. Ah, young love. So bittersweet.
That's all I knew about him.
Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with.
That's right. I mean, why would I even...
But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Well, Mr. Wright?
No, it wasn't me. I'm not the killer, I swear.
Mr. Wright, I'll give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe?
Yes, well...
Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean?
Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true, cross my heart. I swear, I didn't do it.
He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night. May I ask you something, Miss Fay? Yes, Your Honor. What is it now? Who is this person anyway? This Union Jack fellow. Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag. Oh, I see. So you mean like the stars and stripes, right? As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now? Yeah, there's a contradiction in here. Mr. Grossberg, quickly now. Show evidence. My dear, you managed on your own for this fight? I can handle it myself. Yeah, I got it. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Faye, is there some point to this line of questioning? Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute! He's wearing a leather jacket! Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You'd have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath the jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me. Mia, you made our client cry. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyway. It doesn't stand for Phoenix anyway. It doesn't stand for Phoenix anyway. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright was all wrong. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. Quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the crime scene. Uh-oh. Did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to be rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but... There's a medicine that you took, an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X. Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How'd you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? That's a badass fucking cold medicine name. Did you happen to have medicine with you right now? Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. He lost it. Does this have anything to do with the case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take another look at the photo of the crime scene. What's this in the victim's hand? It's Cold Killer X. Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to, especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. Oh, Mia's got all kinds of sprites. Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medication, dropped by Mr. Wright, and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Mr. Phoenix Wright. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Order in the court. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and the bottle as evidence. Very well, the court will accept them into the record. The victim's watch stopped in time of death. Unclutched the victim's hand covered in Wright's fingerprints. Also, the victim's wristwatch is broken. Broken? Yes, it ceased to function when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Time of death was... What's that, 305? p.m. This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks, my poor hemorrhoids. What really happened? The truth is, it went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department. We agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then around 3 we split up. Then later I went back and found him lying there.
been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on that day of the accident.
Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth.
You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination.
Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. Right, you want to be a lawyer, you dumb fuck, and you're committing perjury on the stand? Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly.
And this Dolly person is...
My, it's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart.
Oh, what was that for, Mia?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden.
Lyra Hawthorne was the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. It was one of those nasty love triangles, I see.
Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45 p.m.?
Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct?
Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone calls him the alchemist of IVU.
An alchemist, I see.
Gotta admit, I was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity.
Oh ho, how fascinating. Sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man.
What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details. I was wondering if you could tell me a bit more about the pharmacology department.
Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though.
A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high voltage electricity.
That's right, and they sure look dangerous.
They use non-standard voltages, so there are high voltage cables everywhere. High voltage cables? Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. High voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. Yeah, let's ask about the other one. So you're absolutely certain that you met at 2:45 p.m.? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something. It looks like he's right about the time anyway.
Let's get on with the testimony.
So, what was it you were talking about? You know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime? Wish that were true. So you say you went back? Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. Oh, for the love of God, Phoenix. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. It's rather unusual to catch cold this time of year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. Guess I shouldn't sleep with the windows open this early in spring, huh? I suppose it's common sense not to always I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals. I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does it have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest.
Our mini omelets are magically delicious. Yo! Why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh, I'm sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden.
I think that's enough for now. The defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. Then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason.
Not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either.
Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted.
What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
However, there is one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor.
Well, the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is, You are correct, Your Honor. How exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like roses.
Establish the murder method.
Your Honor?
Yes, Miss Fay.
I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
That would be most impressive.
Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules in court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that.
Oh, good lord. Now then, Miss Fay, let me see what you've got. Tell me how you believe the victim was electrocuted.
As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What? But there's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this a bit more detail. Where exactly in the photo is a murder weapon?
Well, naturally, it's right here.
That's... What is that?
A severed electrical cable, I believe. Your Honor? Remember the testimony we've heard? The machines in the pharmacology department use their experiments to require high voltage. And because of that, there's our special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
So then, the high voltage cable...
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That's the most likely explanation.
That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what really implies. The only ones who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant.
That much is certainly true.
Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer.
You do? Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints? You mean the defendant's fingerprints on something besides the medicine bottle?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. As you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. Ah, you mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand.
What?
I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable.
Order, order, order! That's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination.
Stick a fork in us and we're done. Mr. Grossberg, my hemorrhoids never lie. This show's over, Mia. Knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt.
Your Honor.
At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case. You have something further to add, Miss Fay?
Is that what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth, the whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't, I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye, no matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Wait a minute. Mr. Wright? I'll tell you what really happened. And I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further... I did it. I admit it, I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow is dead. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. Continue to see her, it's gonna be bad. Something you need to know about that girl? Stop it. You don't talk about her like that. Bush. What you just said, was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we are all absolutely convinced you are. But please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim. I feel so like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake. What the fuck? What the fuck? When did this game come out? I pushed the victim. That guy was talking bad about Dolly. Yeah, I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started getting worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. Simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. But from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. There had been something like that, even I would have noticed. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. When I pushed over the victim, I think I just need to press that last statement. At the time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime? Nope, nobody. Jeez, could that stupid cough possibly sound any phonier? In that case, it's very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer. Unless you find something that shows innocence in testimony, my dear. I'm afraid the judge will make his final decisions. No remorse whatsoever. Yes, sir. What kind of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl. Is that all? Yep. Well, Miss Faye, you heard him yourself. Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. And when you did that, there was no severed cable anywhere to be seen? Right, there was nothing like that at all. It is impossible that you merely overlooked it. Well, I guess it is possible. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt?
What's important here is the moment the push occurred. Continue on with the testimony, witness.
A loud noise. What would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright?
I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like a snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was.
Clearly, Your Honor, that was the sound of the victim being electrocuted.
You're not qualified to decide that.
What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here.
Leave it alone. Circle back to that.
After you shoved the victim, did you leave the scene right away?
Yes, I did. I admit it, I was furious.
You left the scene without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition.
Well, yeah. But like I said, I got worried about him later.
Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important, but try to remember what it was.
How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack.
Yeah, could it have been... Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us.
When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it, and it broke. That's probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? Did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. And again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss Faye? What do you think? Is there something important in the testimony just now?
Well...
I think there has to be something important in the testimony. Of course it's important.
Of course it's important. No. Cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered in the testimony.
How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony.
So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella, and you are certain of this?
Yeah, it was right there. It was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself.
The umbrella, you mean?
Well, yeah, you see, I was wearing this sweater here. I stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love. Oof! Well, somebody's not used your personal soccer ball, Mia. This is... Oh, Mia's getting pissed because Phoenix is in a happy relationship. Oh, it's funny. Present... this one.
Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning?
Come on, if I had mentioned that...
I would have been able to counter the prosecution's argument earlier.
What do you mean by that?
Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look at it closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole.
You're absolutely right.
The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive.
No! Order! The victim, he moved. Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now?
Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want to present it as evidence immediately. Found the electrical pole at the crime scene. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way that it could have been blown there by the wind. But... I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render a final judgment. No! I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Loud sound when this happened. Well done, Mia. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. Seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think that I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't know what you're saying. Let me guess, you have another witness. Exactly, and this witness's testimony will be I missed it. Well, who is this witness? Mr. Elijah Hawthorne. Elijah Hawthorne? You don't mean... Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is witness to the whole thing. That's right, she was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious. Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. We'll now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Mr. Elijah Hawthorne. April 11th, 11:52 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah, so I guess this is start to relax then, huh? Relax, my boy. Can't be serious after hiding such important facts. But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life. That's why. The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Mr. Elijah Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Ellie and we first met about 8 months right here in this very courthouse. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway. One day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as my first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met, as a symbol of our love. She'd been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. Before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this. So she gave it to you as a present, I see. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, alright. Makes me so happy, I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Small ball necklace given to Wright the day they met. He shows it to everyone. Anyway, so after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl asking for a present back like that. By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Elijah Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't have to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this, a newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse? Murder? What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there's some connection between these two cases, am I correct?
I don't know what accent I'm doing from Grossberg, but it's wrong.
I don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself.
Yes, but I'm afraid what you have
Will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find.
Thank you.
I want to do what I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, looks like recess is about over. We'd all better get moving.
I guess so. The recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though.
Oh my god, this is dramatic. I don't think we had it to be continued first time. Trials and Tribulations. 1, 2. Uh-oh.
I need to check to make sure everything's working. My mic is cut out completely.
I guess so. The recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Oh my god, this is dramatic. I don't think we had it to be continued first time. Trials and Tribulations. 1, 2. Uh-oh.
Okay, it looks like it's still good. I don't know why it's not working right now, but alright, all fixed. Or will now reconvene. Mr. Payne? Pardon me. Please call your witness.
This next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. Prosecution calls Mr. Lyle Hawthorne to the stand. Ah, you're a cutie.
What's with the stiff silence?
My long career as a judge, I've been deceived by many witnesses. It is my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity.
I can't believe he actually said that.
Oh, now then, witness, could you please state your full name? Don't worry, sweetie. No need to be nervous. If anyone says anything rude, I'll be sure to... I'll cut them down, right down to size. I'll bash them with my gavel.
I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You're all so nice. I almost feel right at home.
Not at all. It was nothing.
If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation? My name is Delia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor is all mine. No, the honor is all mine.
Well, we know whose milkshakes bring good.
What the fuck, Mia? What are you saying?
What the sir.
Is there anything I can be of help with? Just go on and say it, whatever is on your mind.
Oh, it's gonna be such a great breakdown. I'm sure there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny wouldn't kill anyone, I just know it.
Yes, yes. I can see why you say that.
Going to be a tough witness, alright. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them around her little finger.
Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please.
I'd been planning to go back to Feeny's place after class was over. Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building.
Dougie?
Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeny noticed I was there. I went to go and find some other students, and they called the authorities.
I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong. Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of youth passion can burn. Nevertheless, it's my job to discover the truth. Please, tell us the truth.
But I would never... That's more than enough, witness.
I won't allow this to continue.
What do you mean by that?
Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies. Haven't changed a bit. Mia Fey. What's this? You two are acquainted? Yes, we've met before. Once.
In any case, Miss Fey, floor is all yours.
Good to see you again, Madam Fey.
Damn. Madam. No one's grandma yet, girlie. What I witnessed. I don't care about that. Feeny and Doug were talking behind the building.
Are you saying the victim just collapsed on his own?
Yes.
In other words, the defendant never touched the victim, is that right? I was watching the whole time. Feeny never did a thing to Dougie.
Contradiction.
Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we? What? I would never.
Aw, that's cute. Being disclosed at the time since the victim was yesterday's incident, the district court cafeteria should have been a lawyer. Police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who was sitting with the victim. Murder in the courthouse. It's fair. I'll not allow you to badger the witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting... Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job.
Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm prints was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did, in fact, push the victim. What? There's no need to try and cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth.
Nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw.
Yes, Your Honor, I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony.
Finally getting somewhere. Let's see the moment she pushed Dougie.
Didn't see it.
Look at the ground. At the time, there was only two people swinging. Defendant Phoenix Wright and Doug Swallow.
Yes, that's right. So then what did it look like they were doing to you? I thought they were having a nice friendly afternoon conversation.
Oh, give me a break.
That's why I wasn't really watching them all that closely.
You notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge.
I like the sound of that, Mr. Judge. Now then, please proceed with your testimony.
You say students. Do you mean students from the pharmacology department? Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs. Try to stay on topic. I find some pharmacology students went to the labs, correct? That's what I was planning to do, but in the end, I wound up not going. A group of about 10 research students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow, they all seemed to know what was going on.
Students knew what was going on? Why would the students have known what was going on?
Well, I don't know for sure they knew what had happened. It's just, they all seemed like kind of excited about something.
Looks like I'm gonna get any more info about the students.
Let's call the police. Yes, I was so panicked.
Yes, well, I'm gonna do it, my dear. Telling a super obvious lie and she knows it. Dig deep to find contradictions.
You say you didn't hear anything unusual? Is that correct? Yes, that's why I was very relaxed looking at the scene around me. That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And he clearly testified to the effect. And when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that. You were really that close to the two of them? Why didn't you hear the noise as well? Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable. But according to Mr. Phoenix Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make any impression. May I have a moment to answer?
By all means.
Another reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on, and I was listening to music at the time. Headphones? You mean both of your ears were covered? The rain was just beginning to let up. It seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. The sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning, huh? Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder, so I put my headphones on to block it out. Hehehe. Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in your testimony after all. Wait a second, Mia, that testimony just now. It's something that could totally change this whole case.
Listening to music, there was lightning?
Your Honor, there's a problem with the witness's testimony.
What do you mean?
Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct?
Yes, what about it?
Well, lightning is actually an electrical discharge. It was a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right?
Now's not the time for a science lesson, Miss Fey.
Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, the cause of death was electrocution. Isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning? What crazy fucking testimony is this? God, I thought Phoenix fucking reached.
Must admit that the thought had not occurred to me.
What kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway? This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was, in fact, the victim of a stray bolt.
It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental?
Alright, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty now if you don't... Hehehe. I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Fey. Huh? Not a fool, you know? Prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day of the location. What? What's more, evidence that the electric cable is definitely linked to this case.
Evidence, Mr. Payne. Well, what is the evidence?
This affidavit.
Who is this affidavit from?
Pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. Allow me to read out the court testimony. Read out to the court the testimony of the pharmacology students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden around 3 p.m. that day.
Was it a blackout?
All the lab's equipment have been running on high voltage, Your Honor. So you're saying the equipment lost power because... Precisely. It lost power because of the severed electrical cable. Power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m.
Which fits the time of death listed in the autopsy report.
Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future.
I see.
Apparently, the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break. Well, power cable broke due to some sort of impact on 4/9 at 2:55 p.m.
However, there's one thing that troubles me. Cable could have been broken by any small bump. And it wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Miss Fey, do you have any thoughts regarding this case? The cause of the severed cable?
Your Honor. I like how this one is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try and regain the momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion.
Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break?
Do I present the umbrella? This is it. This is why the cable snapped. Well, Your Honor?
I believe that the only thing that has snapped is the mind of the defense.
Ah, was that one of your best lines yet, Your Honor?
That was harsh.
What?
Who or what caused the cable to break?
That's the reason!
Oh, fuck you. Right.
Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony.
The defendant's testimony.
He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct?
Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that?
Lab equipment lost power at 2:55, which fits right into Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. Yes, the prosecution also came to that same conclusion. It was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted. I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne.
What's that supposed to mean?
Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break.
Well, that makes sense. It was the victim's... And then the victim was electrocuted.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no. Doesn't make any sense at all. The victim was shoved into the far pole. Then he couldn't have been electrocuted by this severed cable in the foreground here.
Ah!
In other words, somebody other than my client must have electrocuted the victim.
Order! Order in the court!
Ah, the lamentations of my enemy. I've longed to hear them. What the fuck, man?
It's true, the defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have...
Mr. Judge, sir? May I say something? The Madam Attorney's explanation said something that's... said some things that are a little different than I remember them.
Whoa.
Well, what the... Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge?
Of course it's alright. Go right ahead and give me your new testimony.
This is it. Finally starting to show her true colors.
When I witnessed part 2. Alright, what you got? Fuck you, Hawthorne.
Truth is, Feeney pushed him twice. First time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him. Feeney caught up and crashed into him from behind. Cable snapping, and Dougie being electrocuted all occurred in less than a minute.
So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away.
That's when the defendant pushed him for the second time. I'm so sorry, Feeney, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge?
Of course you are, my dear. Painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Yeah, you're such a crock shit. You're cute, fuck you. You're saying that you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole? I know he doesn't look like it, but Feeney can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be. Oh, really? But I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeney really is scary when he gets mad.
Yes, sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed.
That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket?
Well, no, there weren't.
Madam Fay, may I suggest that you listen a little bit more carefully? You said that he crashed into him from behind, right? My Feeney wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he?
Ugh.
Actually witnessed the moment the victim was electrocuted? I'm sorry, I didn't actually see it. Turned my eyes away.
It's understandable? Yes, indeed.
Horrific sight for anyone to behold. Yeah, I see my contradiction. That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand. You will in a minute. Come take a look at this picture. Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeny likes to take for his cold. It's... oh, fuck, I get these mixed up. I have zero range. Not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m.
Yes, and your point is, Miss Faye?
My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping? Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. Yeah! Would you care to explain the court, Miss Delia, Hawthorne? What exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow.
Order! Order in the court! What is this all about?
This is nonsense. Real murderer? Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for. And who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it? There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. Was there a window of opportunity for the real killer?
Miss Faye, is the defense ready to indict someone as this real killer?
Finally time, moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready.
Very well. Well, remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. And very carefully before you speak, Miss Faye.
It was Winston Bay! A little too much confidence. Hawthorne. It only have been you. Delia Hawthorne. What? How can you... The defense is grasping at straws. 10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing the whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you.
Order! Order! Miss Faye! Well, I mean, why? That is to say...
Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. How can you say something so mean, Madame Faye? I didn't do anything.
Miss Faye, this is a very serious charge you are...
Phoenix? Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say. Are you?
What is it?
Please strike everything the defense has said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Jolly, she couldn't do something like that.
Mr. Wright, get back to your seat. Bailiff, grab that man.
Ah! Leave my dolly alone!
That boy, he's gotten himself in way over his head.
Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back.
Seems to have arrived just in the nick of time. The police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping.
Thanks so much. It's exactly what I was hoping for.
Carter's cafeteria. Victim, Diego Armando. Lawyer, suspect, Delia Hawthorne. Age 19. Unknown just poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of the poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the suspect's person. It is unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup.
Better take a good look at it. It details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, really, Your Honor, that, I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor. Don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand. That is to say, I am... go right ahead. Madam Fay, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie? Yes, I am. Not only am I saying that you murdered Doug Swallow, you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright. I told you that you should let me handle this. Weep. I don't know how to make that sound. Sorry, please go ahead. How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try and frame him is ludicrous. This is just too much for poor little me to bear. I believe that girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be. It's that lies somewhere in the police report. It must. Basement, cafeteria of this building. Your Honor? Defense requests further testimony from Miss Delia Hawthorne. Further testimony? What about? With the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Look at that, possibly have to do with this case. Witness claims that she had no reason to frame the defendant, am I correct? Well, I have evidence to suggest that she, in fact, had a very good reason. Very well then, the court grants the defense's request. Young lady, you mind staying on for just a little bit longer? Of course not, Mr. Judge. You ready for the battle of your life, Delia Hawthorne? Now I met my Feeny. I died of feeling 8 months ago. Destined to meet at the very quiet of his basement reading room. When our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. Been going up to the fateful day. We're so lucky while we literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think. Isn't that Phoenix? Mr. Wright, do that again and you will be held in contempt of court. Going to the final act of our little drama. Go get her. So until that time, you'd been dating Doug Swallow. Yes, I'm a real fool, I know. Letting my emotions change so quickly, I'm ashamed of myself. No, not at all. Look at me, I'm infamous for changing my mind. Critics have even taken to calling me Judge Fickle. Oh ho ho. Maybe you should look for a different line of work. Despite that, however, he always hands down the correct verdict. That's why some people also call him the Great Judge Genie. Just to meet the very corner of the basement reading room. The courthouse reading room. That's a strange place to meet the love of your life. That's not true, Madam Fay. After all, Feeny was not only an art student, but he was also planning to become a lawyer. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room? This line of questioning is a waste of time. It's nothing to do with our murder case. Miss Fay, warn you, if this isn't to do with Mr. Swallow's case. Wait and see. Any bad feeling between you and Mr. Swallow? No, none at all. We parted on very good terms. That can't be. Investigation shows that it was clean bearcat. Huh? Are you sure? Yes, it seems that they both wanted it that way. The victim wanted to break up with her? Back off. Let's push here. Keep pressing. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask you to continue with the testimony. Very well. Young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room?
Please, Your Honor, the answer is simply this.
Research a paper I was writing.
Writing a paper on what?
Between modern Sanrio poetry and the criminal underworld. Oh, that sounds a fascinating research idea. Thank you, Gold. I've forgotten what I've forgotten. Right. I got caught up in it. That's incorrect. You are here a suspect. You are here on trial.
Miss Hawthorne, you were here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason?
What is the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Fay?
8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy.
Another tragedy. You mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned? Name of the suspect in that
The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is Delia Hawthorne.
What? Delia Hawthorne?
Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Delia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in the criminal case just 8 months ago.
Order! 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 This is unbelievable. It's true then. The loveliest rose in the court. Miss Fay, that's not fair. You can't slander my witness with an unrelated case. I, Winston Payne, will not allow it.
Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking.
Pardon me. Go right ahead.
It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me.
Express some interest, huh?
Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago.
I see. Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. I just gotta stay on the offensive. Well done, Mia. Oh, really lit a fire in my heart and my buttocks. And I tell which more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids.
Stop talking about that. I don't really care.
The poisoning.
I met the lawyer who was discussing something in the cafeteria that day. Left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. When I heard it was liquid poison that lethal with just 2 teaspoons. It was a very special kind of poison, so you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that.
That's what happened 8 months ago.
However, as you've heard the witness testimony, she has nothing to do with it. I think the defense is about out of tricks. Terribly sorry, Mr. Payne. I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination. Here's a rabbit.
Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger? Ah, Mia, clone with it. True lawyer's added. Aura, my dear. That proud posture and self-confidence, absolutely smashing.
Talking about with the defense attorney. Well, I'm sorry, but that's confidential.
According to the report, we're being interviewed regarding another case.
The lawyer that was killed, he said he wanted to talk about an incident I was caught up in while I was younger.
Tell us what that incident was. Of course, Winston would object. Objections to stay. The defense is questioning.
You get involved in a lot of incidents, don't you, Miss Hawthorne? Well, I guess it was just born or a bad sign.
Wait, Dolly, I'll protect you. You heard the man. Now that is true love, young lady.
Oh, Feeny, please.
Ugh. You really are making me ill. Maybe for decidedly different reasons.
How long are you gone? Already answered all the questions for the police. If you must know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes. Where are you during that stretch of time? Using the toilet?
What are you saying, Miss Fay?
Toilet.
Yeah, Phoenix. Heard the defendant. Miss Fay, better luck next time.
Oh, Feeny, please.
He's already looking into this whole matter. Line of questioning is nothing but a waste of court's time. Sustain, continue testimony.
About how much liquid is 2 teaspoons?
Well, let me see. My bottle of eye drops says it's half fluid ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons.
2/3 of that amount, huh? Where's mug of coffee? Must have been after I left the table. Someone must have quietly slipped it in there. A special kind of poison? How so? Well, I heard it's almost possible to detect.
Oh, where would something like that come from?
Sorry, all I know is what I overheard the policeman saying. Said something about the advanced chemical process used to purify it.
Chemical process. Well, it's quite impressive. Most impressive.
My question is, how did the criminal get something like that? What the fuck? So Doug Swallow made some poison for Delia? Delia used it? They broke up? Delia foisted the necklace that had the poison traces onto Phoenix, and she's been trying to get it back ever since. And then Doug came to warn Phoenix, and then she offed Doug. What the fuck? That's the reason they didn't arrest you? Because no one could show how you could have gotten the poison? Good enough reason, Faye? He's right. I think we've all had enough questions at him, Miss Faye. Objection. You liar. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. I don't believe you. What? In fact, you had an easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab.
Boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallow?
That's right, up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University.
Pharmacology?
His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you've had access to such a poison after all. And then it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at his very table, you. No!
Order! Could it be?
That's nothing but baseless May I say something, Madam Faye? What is it, Miss Hawthorne? The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you need some kind of container.
Well, yes, that's true.
I searched immediately after the incident took place. Quite true, in fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down. But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they? She's right. I mentioned that in a report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something that small. Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. You're saying I threw away the poison container? I think you need to show some kind of proof. Proof? I'll be good with that.
Provide some evidence, or I'll have you disallowed. I'll have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Faye.
Come up with some evidence. Gonna lose his lead. Tina was holding poison disappeared right after the crime occurred.
Wouldn't accuse the young lady of committing the murder. Then where did the container of poison carried in? What happened to it?
Right here. You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone you knew wouldn't be searched.
Who's this person?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course. So the defendant was the witness's accomplice? Of course not. She gave the poison to him, disguised as a present. What? But that's...
That's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? Really is quite cute. What about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye?
The day the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago. August 27th. Very same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. And for the purposes of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away.
What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in there?
No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain that if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount. No!
Order in the court. On behalf of Dolly, I object. Mr. Wright, control yourself. Why don't you bully her like this? Mr. Wright, thought I told you to stay in your seat.
Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her?
Why?
Because I'm madly in love with her.
Madly in love. Haven't heard anyone say that in a long time.
Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dolly Hawthorne want to date you anyway?
Oh, fuck! Mia! You can't just say that to a man!
Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too. Mr. Wright, please, open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason Delia Hawthorne is dating you is... Delia Hawthorne was not, and is not madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace that you love to wear around your neck.
Necklace?
Back there in the waiting room, you said it yourself.
Yep, she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl asking that for a present back like that.
For Delia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back.
You're lying.
But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she... I don't believe you.
No, it's a lie.
Mia, are you alright? The defendant, he's getting away.
Bailiff, hurry, after him. Right, you're a fucking idiot. Mia, are you alright?
Yes, I think so.
That boy, he went completely insane.
Where's Mr. Wright?
Looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be back soon enough. Thank goodness. Oh no. What is it?
The bottle necklace. Miss Hawthorne's present. It's gone.
What? That's terrible.
Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me.
Foolish boy. That's the only thing that could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now? Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid your apology isn't not enough. Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace? Forgive me, I'm sorry. It's okay, just give it back the necklace.
I ate it. I'm sorry? You what? You ate it. You realize that there is poison in that, correct?
Phoenix is gonna die! It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it in little bits first, but yeah. What the... what?
What's he doing now?
Your Honor, you gotta stop the trial. Mr. Wright! Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? The bottle you swallowed may have had some poison left in it.
Hehehe. Seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly that bottle did not contain the deadly poison.
Can you be so sure?
Hehehe. I think it's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination. So it would seem.
No, there must be some kind of mistake. The bottle must not have any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency.
There. It's all right, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. And it's heartwarming to see you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. That's how it is for us, on the prosecution side too. For example, I would trust the witness Miss Hawthorne with my very life. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong.
That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Fay, I cannot accept your explanation of the events.
But why?
This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand. But in a court of law, evidence is everything.
Even after I proved so much, is she gonna get away with everything?
Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I'd like to proceed with the trial.
Mr. Wright.
I'm sorry, Miss Fay. Totally slipped my mind.
I'm really, really sorry.
I know you believe in me, and I feel like I really let you down.
Mr. Wright? What are you trying to say?
Something I forgot to tell you. What is it?
The day I met Doug Swallow.
That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. None of your business. Telling you for your sake, if you see her, it's gonna be bad news. You're lying. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab.
Poison?
Same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came into the lab that time too. It'd only have been her. Girl's a thief. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that.
Is it true? Did you really say that?
That's ridiculous. There's one more thing. After I pushed them that day, I got worried and came back to have a look.
And she was there. Dolly was there.
She was crouched down next to him.
What?
She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly.
Your Honor, this is... the defendant is...
Miss Fay, you tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent. The lie stole poison 8 months ago, too. Put together with Mr. Wright's testimony, there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Delia Hawthorne stole some poison the night before she killed Doug Swallow. The night before? Naturally, her motive to stealing it was to kill someone. She was gonna poison Wright's fucking pills. Miss Fay? You're so certain of your theory? Let me ask you this.
Yeah, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. It's something that she desperately wanted to get back. Therefore...
Exactly who was Miss Delia Hawthorne planning to kill?
There's only one person that was standing squarely in Miss Delia Hawthorne's way. And that person was... Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Me? That's preposterous. After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered.
Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact... you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could be.
How can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love.
Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice, I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was... the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right. The bottle necklace. That's all she cared about.
But even so, why would she go so far as to murder him?
8 months ago, just after the fall of that attorney in the basement cafeteria. Miss Delia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible.
No, it can't be.
It was a pretty good move she made too. The evidence was missing for a long time. There's just one big problem.
Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met.
You mean... that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright?
Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence. It can't be true! Beanie, what a joke you are.
See, oh.
Oh! Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me.
Miss Hawthorne.
It appears that we're nearing the end of this trial. Fine, I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say.
You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne.
We'll see about that. But first, where's your evidence? Seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten that bottle as a snack.
Ugh. Well,
Hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face?
Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you?
Really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now, if you don't mind.
But we're not finished.
Fine, then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already.
Can't let her get away this time. Stop, Mia. You keep pushing on without any evidence. You could be paying the ultimate price as a lawyer.
Ultimate price?
You'd be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid.
You'd be disbarred? No. Better think it over carefully, Miss Fay, or should I say Miss Gray?
Well, Miss Fay, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt for once and for all?
I'm gonna set up here, my career's a lawyer over. Honest? At this point, I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. Impossible, you can't possibly. Stupid woman.
It's the opinion of the court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented.
Save it just in case. I think it's the Cold Killer X bottle.
It's just one. You're unable to establish her guilt, and I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will be immediately handed down on Mr. Wright.
I understand, Your Honor. Just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lore plummets to Earth before she gets the chance to soar. Planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there.
Well then, Miss Fay, please present your evidence. Show this court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright.
Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that would prove her guilt once and for all.
Cold Killer X. Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine.
Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold? If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned.
What?
Remember the defendant said this in his testimony. Lost a bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing Mr. Wright was going to take some. And now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine. I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 years ago, or 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence?
Huh? What are you talking about?
8 months ago, the poison was hidden inside her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room. My client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That's when the murderer, Belia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poisoned bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright.
believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant.
Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and the victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized I can't allow Doug Swallow to live. She used a severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying the bottle of poisoned cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did 8 months ago?
8 months ago?
Yes, she did. She disposed of the evidence exactly the same way she did back then. She had someone else hold it. In this case, Doug Swallow.
Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar.
Right, Mr. Prosecutor.
Huh? Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation.
I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine. I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now.
Mia Fey.
Oh, do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? That's just fine. For the time being. Victory is yours. For the time being. I'll have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge. I'll see you later too, okay?
Huh? Yes.
We're gonna go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best.
Alrighty then. I don't know how she's gonna go get back at Mia, because Mia's dead.
It's finally all over.
I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap evidence to support their outrageous claim. But even so, your witness seems to have accepted it. I don't care. I'm Winston Payne. I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said.
Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this.
Yes?
Would you care to try this cold medicine?
What?
Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said...
There, it's alright, rookie.
For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. If she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right?
You see, yes.
And here comes the back pedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life?
Yeah, my hair is flying everywhere. My beautiful hair, no! And that's how he... I knew it was gonna happen like that. Oh. He lost his pompadour. Winston, Mr. Payne, about Miss Delia Hawthorne.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll file the papers for her immediate arrest.
Tragic, but not surprising. There was something suspicious about her from the very beginning.
Don't lie. Just admit you were wrong.
By the way, Miss Fay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Was it just me, or did you and Miss Delia Hawthorne seem to know each other?
Your Honor, whether we did or did not has no bearing on this case.
Very well. Mr. Payne.
This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing my daughter.
Here's Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say?
It can't be true, my dear... Charlie.
Very well then. I believe I'm ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright,
Not guilty! He lost his pompadour. Oh, he's bald in that art too. That's funny.
This court is adjourned.
April 11th.
Yeah, you were wonderful in there.
Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg.
During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius.
Mr. Grossberg. Do you, think you could maybe stop talking about them?
That's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with the client?
Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this.
Oh, Mr. Wright. Congratulations.
Thanks. You know, I was thinking...
Go on.
The dolly that I saw up there on the witness stand. I don't think that was really her.
What?
Yeah, the dolly I know could never have said those kinds of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something.
Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You should forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably for the best.
Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little.
But... out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up.
Ugh! What kind of company does this guy keep?
Right now, I'm studying to become a lawyer myself.
That's what you keep saying. I thought you were in the art department.
Well, yeah, I am. There's a friend that I desperately want to help. If I hurry, I should still be able to save him in time.
I see.
Say, Miss Faye, a lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right?
Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself. But I think that's exactly what a lawyer is.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope. I hope we see each other again someday. Maybe even in court. Aww. And then we get a whole trial with her. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned. I managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. It also brings up some very precious ones. And some memories I thought would never rise to the surface again. Mia's gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind.
Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief.
5 long years ago, something has happened that made me think back to her words of wisdom. That's a story for another day. Turnabout Memories 1. Oh, that was sweet. I like that. Sets up a really good villain later. Brand new episode has been added. Save. That was a sweet intro. I like that. That was good. Preview. The time is 1 AM. Beep. Detective, we made it. Phew. What a relief. Glad the jewel is still safe. Oh, you said it, pal. Must have been our rock-solid security that scared him off. You might open the safe just to double check. Crazy impractical save. Mask to mask. We've been had. Mask to mask. Salutations. Up front, guards, turn on the searchlights. Ha 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 ha. Better luck next time, gentlemen.
He's flying!
Ha 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 ha! Excuse me, but I'm afraid I must be leaving now. Goodbye! We shall meet again when the next moon is full! Ah ha ha! What the fuck? Ah ha 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 ha! What the fuck? October 11th, 3:24 p.m. Right in Cola offices. Alright, that was a weird preview. Let's call it there. That was a good start. That was a bonkers long start, though. That was 2 hours for the first trial. We got through 2 trials in the first game in a single stream. Now we get 1. That was just the intro trial. We're gonna have to split trials up in half if this keeps fucking going on. Good lord. But that was really good. That was sweet. I like that. Playing as Mio was fun. It set up a really interesting villain to come back later. To, I guess, like, punish Phoenix Wright in Mia's place, I guess. Or punish Maya, I guess. Is that too? That was really cool. I like that. So, yeah, I'm excited for more of this. We'll see where this takes us. Tomorrow, we'll be back with more Ace Attorney. Hopefully on time this time. So we can maybe get, I don't know. We'll get Investigation and Trial 1 in, probably. We might have to stop at the break, though, depending on how late it goes. But anyway, thanks for hanging out. This is delightful. I'm excited to be starting the last of the Ace Attorney trilogy. We'll continue this on, we'll continue this tomorrow. Wednesday will be a break. Thursday, probably we'll figure out what we're doing Thursday. I still don't know. Might just do variety until we hit something. We might kick into a game that I'm in the middle of playing. Who knows? But anyway, that's a problem for 2 days from now. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for enjoying Ace Attorney with me. We'll be back tomorrow. So, yeah.